Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here we are seeing in this portion of Srimad Bhagavatam the descendants or the progeny of daughters of Kardama Muni and like Swayambhuva Manu. Swayambhuva Manu, one of his daughters he has given to Kardama Muni, and his daughter, one of them, Anasuya, is being married to Atri Rishi. So he's a great sage. So she is being married to him. And both of them, husband and wife, Atri and Anasuya, they performed severe austerities, tapasya, great penance. What was the purpose behind this? The intention was they wanted a son like the Supreme Lord. So this was the desire of Atri Muni, that I want a son like the Supreme Lord. Now here, if we hear this in a straightforward way or just a simple reading of these verses from the Bhagavatam, just like we are seeing that Atri Muni, he has got a desire to have a son like the Supreme Lord. So now, for us, it's such a wonderful boon. What he is desiring, he wants to ask. For that purpose, he is performing great tapasya, praying to the Supreme Lord to give him a son like the Supreme Lord. So a simple reading of these texts of Bhagavatam, it may appear to us that it's a very wonderful thing. This is the highest thing what Atri Muni is asking for. But through parampara understanding, the way Srila Prabhupada has taught us, we come to the conclusion that no, this doesn't come under the bracket of pure devotional service. In one of the previous purports, we see how it is explained that Atri Rishi was not actually a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord. He was certain that yes, there is one Supreme Lord who is the ultimate creator. See, all these things he knows, but he is unaware of who specifically that personality is. But somehow, by good fortune, he is praying to that personality and he is asking that, I want a son like the Supreme Lord. Now we may give a comparison to Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, Vasudeva, Devaki. We glorify them as great devotees, pure devotees of the Supreme Lord. Now Atri Rishi, he is also requesting like that. So he also may be a pure devotee of the Lord. But no, there is difference. Both are not the same. How it is not the same? Let us see. One of the previous purports we saw. Yeah. It appears that the great sage Atri Muni had no specific idea of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, he must have been conversant with the Vedic information that there is a Supreme Personality of Godhead who is the creator of the universe, from whom everything emanated, who maintains and in whom everything is conserved after dissolution. So this much Atri Rishi is aware. There is a creator, maintainer and destroyer. He is the Supreme Lord. And then it is said, so Atri Muni concentrated upon that Supreme Lord even without knowing his name, just to beg from him a child exactly on his level. That was the intention with which he performed tapasya. Then Srila Prabhupada says, this kind of devotional service in which knowledge of God's name is lacking is also described in Bhagavad Gita, where the Lord says that 4 kinds of men with backgrounds of pious activities come to him asking for what they need. Even maybe without knowing who is the Lord, people approach him. What's his name? What's his address? How we need to go towards him? They may not know exactly, but still, in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says 4 categories of people, they approach him. Who are they? Arto, Artharti, Jnani, Jignasu. Who is in distress, who wants something, and who is inquisitive, and one after coming into full knowledge. So they may not be pure devotees, still they may approach the Supreme Lord, and the Supreme Lord, He is also very merciful, very benevolent, and He fulfills the desires of such living entities who may not be pure devotees. So this we need to remember. So continuing here, Atri Muni wanted a son exactly like the Lord, and therefore he is not supposed to have been a pure devotee, because he had a desire to be fulfilled, and that desire was material. We may wonder, he is not asking something, but he is asking for a son exactly like the Supreme Lord. But here Srila Prabhupada makes it clear, it's a material desire. Although he wanted a son exactly like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his desire was material, because he did not want the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. This is the point to note. In the case of Mother Yashoda or other pure devotees, they wanted the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. But here, Atri Muni's case is different. He wanted a son like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He did not want the Supreme Personality of Godhead as his son or in whatever way. So here, if he had desired the Supreme Personality of Godhead as his child, he would have been completely free of material desires, because he would have wanted the Supreme Absolute Truth. But because he wanted a similar child, his desire was material. Thus, Atri Muni cannot be counted among the pure devotees. So this is the verdict or the conclusion of our Sampradaya Acharyas. Srila Prabhupada, in such simple words, he has explained it to us. Now, let us contemplate, deliberate on this subject matter. Who is a pure devotee and who is not a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord? For a common man like us, common people like us, we may not be able to tell. Through whatever little understanding of the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam we may be having, we may not decisively, conclusively point out and say that yes, here is a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, and here, no, this is not pure devotee, this is not pure devotional service. On our own, through our little intelligence, we may not be able to tell it decisively. We require the help of the Supreme Lord Himself or His representatives. I'll read out one portion where this is very specifically made clear. Okay, this. A man bound by the hands and feet cannot free himself. He must be helped by a person who is unbound. See, a man who is tied hand and feet, he cannot make himself free. Shri Krishna Balarama ki jai. Because the bound cannot help the bound, the rescuer must be liberated. If at all a person wants to rescue this person who is bound hand and feet by ropes, the rescuer must be liberated. Therefore, only Lord Krishna or his bona fide representative, the spiritual master, can release the conditioned soul. Without such superior help, one cannot be freed from the bondage of material nature. Without Krishna's and Krishna's representative, the spiritual master, without their help, we cannot come out of the material nature. Material nature, Maya, puts us into varieties of illusory conditions, illusory understandings, illusory thoughts, and make us commit so many activities which may not be in line with pure devotional service. We may say, it is appearing like pure devotional service. There is connection with the Supreme Lord, and in varieties of ways we may give interpretation. But As we see here in the case of Atri Rishi, he appears as if, oh, he's doing great tapasya. He wants a son like the Supreme Lord. But through Acharya like Srila Prabhupada, without his help, we may not be able to decipher, this is not pure devotional service, because he is not asking for the Supreme Lord, to serve the Supreme Lord. It's a material desire. I want a son who should be equal to or powerful like the Supreme Lord. It is a material desire. Of course, as I told you, what we find in today's verse, the Lord, He is very merciful. And devotees, they are also merciful. The devatas, they are also very merciful, because they are all, after all, appointed authorities, caretakers of this material world. They are also very merciful. So here we see, being pleased by the austerities of Atri Rishi, Brahma, Vishnu and Lord Shiva, all three of them have appeared in front of Atri Rishi. And of course, in the previous verses we have seen Atri Rishi could make out, like through their bodily features, through various weapons, what they are having in their hands, that they are Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu. And now Atri Rishi is placing this question in front of them. He is saying, I called for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, desiring a son like him, and I thought of him only. But although he is far beyond the mental speculation of man, all three of you have come here. Kindly let me know how you have come, for I am greatly bewildered about this. So still he is not aware very clearly what's happening. So this is the condition of Atri Rishi. Now let us come back and try to analyze our situation in this material world. It is not very far from what we see the case of Atri Rishi. Being born in a Punya Bhumi like India, Bharata Bhumile, Manushya Janmayar, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, it is not an ordinary birth. And still, after being born here, many of us, we are fortunate enough to be born in pious families, wherein the practice of Sanatana Dharma is prevalent. And many of us have got, maybe all of us, we have got the opportunity in our lives to come in touch with a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord like Srila Prabhupada and have taken his shelter. But we should be aware that if we are not sincere, if we are not desirous of getting the ultimate perfectional stage in spiritual life, which is pure devotional service or Krishna Prem, if we are not fixed with our goal, if we are not sincere with the attainment of this perfectional stage, then what will happen? We may become complacent, we may become deviated from the understanding of the parampara, because Maya will place so many obstacles in front of us If at all a devotee, a living entity, wants to render pure devotional service and go back to Godhead, Maya is there to place a lot of obstacles and to check him, to examine him. And in those tests, there are chances that we may fail, we may become deviated. So, what are we supposed to do? We need to stick on, catch hold of a pure devotee of the Lord, take his shelter by accepting his mercy, his shelter. That's the only way we can become relieved of the bondage of material existence. Otherwise, not. Now here in this connection, let us recollect the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, okay, the entire teachings of Bhagavad Gita, if we see, in one place, like Acharyas say how Krishna reveals confidential knowledge in the Bhagavad Gita. Correct? We are familiar with this. There is Guhya Jnana, a confidential knowledge which is revealed. And in the same Bhagavad Gita we find there is Guhyatara Jnana also. More confidential knowledge which is more confidential. And also we find knowledge which is most confidential. Guhyatama Jnana. So in the beginning chapters we find that we are not this body, we are spirit, soul. This is a confidential knowledge. Every reader of the Bhagavad Gita may not be able to get this knowledge, because a lot of people have read, but this basic understanding itself they may not be having. Why? Why? Because they have not taken shelter of the parampara understanding. Okay, leave about this confidential knowledge. Still more confidential knowledge that I'm not just spirit soul. Okay, I'm a spirit soul, that understanding is there, but that's not sufficient. I am part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. I have got an eternal relationship with that Supreme Lord. Mamaivamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha. Krishna says all living entities, they are my part and parcels. Pitaham asya jagato. I am the Supreme Father of all living entities. See, it's a still higher understanding, more confidential. And then finally, the most confidential knowledge. Yes, the Supreme Lord is there, our eternal Father, and by going through the process, Manmana Bhavamad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer your obeisances unto me. By practicing these things, we can re-establish our lost relationship with the Supreme Lord. And just like in the end of the 15th chapter, Krishna says, Yo mam evam asammodho janati purushottamam. That person who has understood me to be Purushottama, the Supreme Lord. What does he do? He is the knower of everything. Sa sarvavit bhajati mam sarva bhavena bharata. After knowing me, that I am the Supreme Lord, he engages in my devotional service. And how does he do it? Sarva bhavena bharata, with full of his heart, lovingly he engages in my devotional service. And that person who has understood this knowledge, who is engaged in pure devotional service, Krishna says, Kritakrityascha Bharata. He has attained the perfectional stage. See, this is what the Bhagavad Gita is offering us. This is what the Bhagavatam is offering us. This is what, through the parampara, this knowledge is being carried down, and we are receiving it through the medium of our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. Somewhere there is a deviation in the parampara. There is deviation in this proper understanding. We may end up going somewhere without the attainment of the highest thing, pure devotional service, love of Godhead. We may get many other things, just like Atri Rishi, without knowing who is the Supreme Lord and without being a pure devotee, he is performing tapasya, being pleased with his tapasya. All three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, Lord Shiva, they have appeared in front of him. It's not an ordinary thing. All the three great personalities are in front of him and asking him, what do you want? So it may appear, something like this is the greatest, this is the ultimate. But our acharyas are telling, no, this is not the greatest. This is not the highest. Atri Rishi, no, he is not a pure devotee. We, on our own, we may not be able to make out this difference. We require the help. Just like in today's conversation, very beautifully, Prabhupada with the example of the park. You go to the park and we do some walking, run around here and there, and finally we may find ourselves lost. Where is the exit? Where is the way out? We may not know. So we may not be having the experience how to come out of that whatever barricaded boundaries. So what do? We go and ask a person, where is the exit? Where is the gate? And that person, maybe the security guard or whoever is he who are there, we may ask him, where is the exit door? And he says, go straight here, this way, take a right there. And we go there and we get the exit route and our task is done. It's not required that we should be fully experienced, try to understand the entire geography, the architecture of that entire park or that building, whatever it may be. We should be sufficiently experienced. Then we can exit from there. Not required. Just approach the authority. He says, you go this way. Don't go this way. You follow that and you'll get the result. It is very simple, provided you approach the right authority. I'll read it again. Achintya khalu ye bhava natam starke na yochayet. What is beyond your experience, you don't argue on that point. You go to the authority and take it. Why you should argue? It is beyond your experience. Therefore, you must find out who can give you that experience. Tad vijnanartham sagurum eva abhigachet. You have to go to a guru. But don't stop there. That it is beyond my experience. Therefore, I should not have experience. That is foolishness. It is beyond your experience. Then go to a person who has got the experience and take from him. So this is the way of understanding. Just 2 days before, I had been to my home for my father's funeral, and it was 20 years since I met many of my relatives. And they were also very enthusiastic looking at me. And each and every person, they were coming, asking me many questions. And there, one of my cousin's sister, see, 20 years ago I had met her, 20 years have passed. She came to me and asked, and while coming, she came along with one young boy, and she introduced, he's my son, and he was taller than me. I asked his age, he's 18 years old. Oh, I have finished my PUC, and he has written some entrance exam and waiting for like the results and getting admission into college. And I started conversing with him and all these things were happening. And his mother, she comes and says, kindly can you look at his hand? Tell me which course he should join. Will his future be bright? What it is, all those things she started asking me. Then I gave one mantra card, chant Hare Krishna, whatever rekhas are there, everything will align properly and everything will get set right. See, this is how people are. Another one of my elderly aunt, she came and asked me, oh no, during that funeral, that cremation ceremony, like we ate, like without taking bath, after going to the cremation ground, we came back home because they were all old people, some whatever digestive issues they have, and before taking bath, like we ate some fruits. Was it okay? Some dosha is there, some parihara should we do? Chant Hare Krishna, all dosha parihara will happen. This was the simple answer what I had. See how, as devotees, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. How, as devotees, even beginners, we have so much confidence. Where did we get this confidence from? The proper understanding. When I quoted that verse also, Om apavitram pavitro va sarvavastan gatopi va yasmaret pundarikaksham sabahyabhyantara shuchihi. By chanting the holy names of the Supreme Lord, you go to cremation ground, whatever ashuchi, whatever impurities may be there, just chant the holy names of the Supreme Lord. You become internally and externally pure. Spontaneously it came out. So where did this understanding, this confidence, where did it come from? By the mercy, by the teachings of a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada. Without his touch, when we would have, okay, oh, this rekha is not okay, maybe turn like this, do this parihara, do this shanti, because those people are like that. They're all educated still. They go to various some astrologers, other Swamijis, they go and ask various questions to them. They pay thousands of rupees standing big queue to ask, this rekha is good or bad, this papa, this parihara, what should we do? And those people also do this homa, chant this mantra, do this puja, give this dana, and all those things. We'll get deviated, varieties of deviations are there. So we should feel very fortunate for having received the mercy, the benediction of getting a pure devotee spiritual master like Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, what would have our lives become? And maybe till yesterday, even think like this, in our organization, established by Srila Prabhupada, who is finding a pure devotee is very rare. It's not so easy. It's not that every gully, every village, somewhere one pure devotee is there. If not him, go there. If not there, come here. It's not like that. Just like we have we try out for with some doctors or whatever. Not here, go there. Not there, come here. I remember during my childhood days, during my school days, like the Prime Minister, the President of our country, We had like charts were there, their photos, we need to memorize their names, the term which they served. In that childhood days we were thinking, oh, these are ultimate personalities. He is the Prime Minister of our country, President of our country. And one fine day we got the news, one Prime Minister, he died. So what will happen? School holiday. And we were very happy. After a few days, another person died. Again, one more holiday. And I was very eager. Oh, how many more are pending? Maybe now, if from past 10 years, one Prime Minister is there. Before him also he served for 10 years. I remember my school days. It was not like this. There was one Prime Minister who served only for some few days. Single digit number. There was one Prime Minister serving for few months. 1 or 2 years, again it was changing. I was counting, many number of people are there, then each one of them, they pass away, one more holiday we may get. A pure devotee is not like this. It is very rare to get shelter of a pure devotee, association of a pure devotee. Somewhere we get deviated, we miss the chance. We may take his instructions, chant Hare Krishna, follow regulative principles, but still, even that is not sufficient. So that's what I was telling you, how even in our organization, there was a time, if at all you want to follow Srila Prabhupada strictly, stick to him, it was not allowed. Some deviation was there. And some few devotees who were very adamant on that, no, I want to stick to Srila Prabhupada, he is the Acharya, current link. There was a hanging sword on top of their heads till yesterday. We did not know what may happen in future, but now somehow by Krishna's grace and Srila Prabhupada's grace, that sword is taken out. Confidently, boldly, we can practice this faith, take shelter of a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada without being deviated, and this organization provides all the facilities to give shelter for whoever is ready for such surrender. So it's our great fortune that this has happened to us in our lifetime itself, and it's the mercy of the Supreme Lord that He has created. The Lord is very merciful. Any devotee who is sincere, serious, the Lord makes all arrangements for his advancement. So yesterday's whatever happenings were a testimony for this instruction. So maybe with doubled enthusiasm, doubled faith, we need to go ahead to become more sincere, more hardworking, and stick on to Srila Prabhupada and his true followers. So with this, let me conclude. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Okay, there's a question here. Yes.
Like Prabhupada is a pure devotee, is he not made of Krishna pure devotee?
Yes. The question is, Prabhupada is a pure devotee. Hasn't he made another pure devotee? Prabhupada is such a pure devotee. Doesn't he maybe like have the capacity to make another pure devotee? We say, the institution which Srila Prabhupada has made, it is meant for making pure devotees. All the inmates here, we need to become pure devotees, go around the world and give association and make pure devotees. This is the purpose of our organization. So no way we say that like Srila Prabhupada has not made pure devotees. But the point, this question is answered. Yes, Srila Prabhupada has made like ISKCON, like our organization which Srila Prabhupada has set up, Prabhupada's disciples, we never object to that point that Srila Prabhupada has not made pure devotees. No, he has made. But how to find out who is a pure devotee, who is not? Then think, okay, we find out that he is a pure devotee, good. Then go take his association, fall at his feet, render service, all these things you do. But the question is something different. Like connected to this context what we are speaking. Whom would you accept as your guru, as the acharya who will deliver you from this material existence, from the material bondage? That's the point. Are they authorized by Srila Prabhupada to take a post of Srila Prabhupada? That will be our question. If at all that authorization is there, then yes, definitely you can go take shelter of them and surrender to them as their disciple, we would have told. But that instruction is not there. So in which case, we have got full faith that yes, there are pure devotees and we need to take shelter of them, we need to serve them. But when it comes to the point of taking initiation, accepting as the deliverer from this material bondage, that is none other than Srila Prabhupada. This is our point. Srila Prabhupada ki